everybody, it's Dr. Jo and B. Remy, and today I'm going to show you 9 seated exercises for the leg. So let's get started. Bzzz. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. So the first exercise seated is just going to be a heel toe raise. So this is really easy to do, especially if you're working at a desk all day. Most of these are easy to do and you can just kind of do them without thinking very much. But it's just like it sounds. You're going to do heel raises and then toe raises. So the toes usually don't come up quite as much, but you're just going to alternate back and forth. And I like this one because it kind of helps your calves work like a natural pump, just to help the blood flow and the circulation in your legs as well. So this is a really nice one to do. Then the next one is just going to be a hip flexion exercise. And so really all you're doing is you're bringing your knee up towards the ceiling. If you have a backrest, that's great. Get your back nice and upright against the backrest. But if you don't have anything, try not to lean when you bring your leg up. Try and really just get that movement at your hip. I like to alternate back and forth with these just because you want to work both sides, and it's just a little bit easier for me just to alternate back and forth. So again, with these you can do 10 to 15, maybe 2 sets at a time, several times throughout the day. And then the next one is going to be a long arc quad. And so really all that is like a knee extension. And so you're really just working your quad muscles. So, we're going all the way up and down the leg. So with this one, you're just going to kick your leg up. And I like when you come all the way up to pull your toes towards you, really just to squeeze that quad muscle at the end, and then nice and slow back down. So you can alternate if you want to, or with these, if it's easier just to do 10 to 15 on one side, you can do that and then switch to the other side. So same thing, a couple sets of those, a couple times throughout the day. So then the next one is going to be maybe what we would call something like a hip abduction tap out. So now you're kind of working these abductors, the outsides of your leg, and all you're just going to do is kind of bring your leg and tap it out to the side. So you can alternate back and forth, or you can just do them all at one time. So I'm moving the whole leg for this one. There's some other exercises. We're going to do rotation movements in a second. So really this one's moving the whole leg. You are doing that abduction, hip abduction movement. So that one you're moving the whole leg. Some of the others we won't be. But again, 10 to 15 on each side, just kind of getting everything moving. So this one is going into rotation, which would be an external hip rotation. And it's almost like if you're just going up to cross your leg like into a figure 4. So you're coming up this way. But as you can see, I'm rotating my leg up. So I'm not just picking it up and putting it like that. I'm actually bringing the foot up, almost like if I was just going to cross my leg, but I'm not going to do all of that. I'm trying to rotate my hip, and that's an external hip rotation. Even though my foot's coming inwards, it's externally rotating my hip. So again, 10 to 15, make sure you're doing both sides for that. So then the next one, we're going to start using a resistive band. So if you haven't done resistive band exercises before, make sure you're using the lightest one, because sometimes they feel easy while you're doing them, but then you get really sore afterwards. So this one, we're going to go back into the hip flexion exercise, but this time we're using the band. Now the band is not only giving you resistance going up, but it's also going to try and pull your leg in while you're going. So you really want to keep this leg up. You can see how it tried to pull my foot in. So you don't want to do this. You don't want it coming in. You really want to keep it out that same distance down at the bottom where your feet are, and then when you're bringing it up. So you're not only getting resistance this way, but you're getting that resistance on the outside as well. So you might want to do a little less of these. You might want to just do 5 or 10 to start off with, and then just kind of see how it feels. So then you're going to bring the band up to your thighs. And while I'm bringing it up, I'd like to give a shout out to my wall of thanks folks. So FRD, Kathleen M, Dan, and Eric P. Thank you so much for being on my wall of thanks. And if you'd like to find out how to be on that wall of thanks, make sure you click on the link in the description below. So with this one, now the band or the loop band is going to be above my knees, just kind of on my thighs, but right above the knees, so not on the knees. And then this is almost just like what we would call maybe like a hip abduction rollout. So you're getting some of the rotation of the rolling, but you're still going out to the side with the band. So I would do more just kind of rolling out like this now. And if you've seen some of my other exercises, this would be like a hook line when I'm lying down, doing like hip abduction and hook line, but you're doing it seated in a chair. So again, you're still working all these leg muscles, but now you're using the band to get yourself a little bit more resistance into it. And again, if you haven't done this before, you probably want to start off with just 5 or 10 with the lightest band. Then if you get to 20, 25 and it's easy, then you can go up to a higher resistive band. So now we're going to bring it back down to the feet, and now we're going to do a hip internal rotation with a resistive band. And this one is a little bit tougher for people. The hip internal rotation is a little more uncomfortable, so just make sure you're ready to do this. But again, now this is a rotation, so I'm not doing that abduction where I'm taking my whole hip out, but I'm actually turning at my knee where my foot's going out, but the top part of my leg is really just staying in one spot. So you can see here where I'm just kind of rolling it out and coming back in. You can roll it out and tap and come back in, which is a little easier, or you can do like I'm doing and leave your foot in the air. And you're really gonna feel that in your hips and your legs. So again, I would just start off with a little bit, see how it feels, and then kind of bump up from there. And so then the last one, then we're going to go back into that external rotation of the hip, but with the band. So we're going to go back into that kind of figure 4 motion, but now I have the band, so as I come up, I'm getting that resistance. So you don't have to come up as high as me, but again, you're trying to get that rotation, that external rotation of the hip. And this was the internal rotation, just so you kind of know, even though your foot's going in the opposite direction, your hip's going that way into that external rotation. So again, these are working smaller muscles around the hip. So when you're using those bands, you really want to start off light because you're going to feel it, and you just want to make sure that you're not overdoing it the first couple times you do it. So there you have it. Those are your 9 seated exercises for the legs. If you'd like to help support my channel, make sure and click on the link up there. And don't forget to subscribe where? Down there. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.